Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Halloween the Game update. See, today we are reacting to Elphonic's live stream from a few days ago. If just in case if anyone missed it, I know I missed it as well because I got a lot of problems in IRL. So there's just a lot of stuff I got to do. So I'm sorry if I'm a few days late, but hopefully it's fine with y'all. We are here right now reacting to it. See, there is a few things I would like to happen in this game. Hopefully, they'll talk about it. I would like to see Michael being able to drive, like how he was able to in the movies. Hopefully, there's like some type of, you know, let's just say like if there's like quests and we complete them, like will we get like costumes, cosmetics for it? Like will we get rewarded? I will also would like to know about the level progression. Like, would it be higher than level like 99, like in TCM, or maybe if there's something like that? Um, what else? Hopefully, there is multiple maps. I did hear supposedly that there is 6 chapters in single player mode while playing as Michael Myers. Um, hopefully they can add like a hero mode where like a story hero mode type of thing, like where you can play as a hero and then you get to kill Michael or something like that. I think that would be cool. But anyways, enough wasting y'all time. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen.
We're excited to have you with us. So, we unveiled Halloween the game as a single player and multiplayer horror experience. So, I think we should kick things off today by diving into the single player component of this game. So, we've given overviews of what this is through hub posts, and as you see on the screen here, an official trailer for our single player story mode. But this is essentially, for us, like a reimagined, alternate, extended cut that allows players to experience the night Michael came home from his perspective. And so we're really excited about that. And Jordan, for players diving into this for the very first time, what can they expect from the single player story mode?
Yeah, I mean it's been really enjoyable to work with Pollard Studio to construct this. It's always been a big important part of what we want to accomplish with this game because we realize how important this story mode is to a lot of people, just to get that sense of what we can explore, but as well give people an opportunity to really get used to and understand the nuances of playing Michael Myers. So we have 6 chapters set up. A lot of this stuff we have, like you'd mentioned, we had written up a good hub post that really dove into some of this, but some of the other things, sitting down with the 6 chapters, we do have multiple cinematics that, there's clips of it in the trailer that kind of give an idea of what they're going to look like as you go through, that tell the story and kind of connect the pieces of these chapters into what our discoveries are behind the scenes of the original film. So it's been a lot of fun piecing that together, and we've also woven a lot of tutorials and helpful moments throughout that really reinforce the different aspects of playing Michael, and pieces that are really helpful to learn early on before you jump into the multiplayer. But each time players are in these chapters, they play through various objectives. They're mostly centered around killing these residents of Haddonfield while approaching towards the final movies the final scenes from the film with the babysitters. But there's also some open-ended moments that allow you to explore in a bit more depth and discover everything that each of these places has to offer, including some story-based collectibles and other little things. So we've also set up, and a good portion of it does have checkpoints as well, so that you can get in and I'll go into a bit more detail in kind of the replayability factor, but making sure that we're kind of splitting these up and giving you an opportunity to face some of the more challenging moments and be able to restart at an easier point. So that's been a kind of the big summary of all the main gameplay aspects you can expect to see, and it really does lead into trying to reinforce the care we've given to make sure that these are replayable experiences as well, because there isn't a specific right way to do this. It's very much a sandbox approach, as we've done with the multiplayer, and giving the direction and the tools and the main objectives, but allowing you to explore what each situation has to offer.
Yeah, as we've kind of showcased in our trailer here and teased a bit, like one of the most exciting things I think about this is that not only do you get to experience some very iconic moments from the original film that I know fans will be very stoked about, but we also have the rare opportunity to kind of introduce moments that have not been seen in the film. And I think that's a really cool opportunity for us. You touched on replayability a little bit here, but that's something I really kind of want to hone in on is replayability and player rewards have been really core pillars for us and the team when it comes to building this game. So when it comes to the single player story mode, what kind of things can players chase and look forward to by replaying the single player story mode?
Yeah, I mean, there's each chapter we have designated and set up multiple different types of approaches to each of the chapters, as well as chapter challenges, kind of that secondary layer of, as you go through these and you kill people in certain ways, there's very specific ways that will unlock that and give you a cosmetic that will then be usable in multiplayer. So it really lets you explore and discover all of the options in that and look to find, oh, it's calling this out. I obviously need to figure out how this person needs to die. And then in order to do that, it takes a little bit of time to understand their pathing and you know what they're doing and where you need to get them close enough to. So, but yeah, like I said, it unlocks those cosmetics so that you can play through, get those in multiplayer, and show off that you've been able to complete these different challenges we put before the player, and alongside of that, different difficulties, being able to apply kind of different levels of how you're approaching each of these chapters in how the AI or the NPCs are responding to you, how that plays out, as well as giving you a really nice layout of scores and ratings, because each time you're completing these chapters, there's a lot of factors of, you know, what was possible during the chapter, how did you complete it, was it, you know, the way Michael Myers should have completed it, or how he's best known for.
Our single player story mode also features our cast of new, original, and returning legacy characters. They will be featured in here, and I did want to give a quick recap for those unaware of the amount of characters that we've showcased so far. But earlier this year, we started kind of introducing our community to these civilians, starting with the heroes of Haddonfield here. We have Tanya Harrison on the left, Rachel Callahan, Thomas Armitage, Jennifer Aarons, and Marcus Navarro. After that, we introduced players to our boy Eric Dunn, the loyal Nichols Hardware employee ahead of our single-player trailer. And most recently, we confirmed that Bob Sims, Linda Vanderklok, Laurie Strode, and Annie Brackett would also be heading to this game with some exciting reimagined designs. So we have 10 playable characters confirmed for the standard edition on day one, which is pretty awesome. All 10 of these characters will be featured in the game's single-player story mode. And if you splurge and get the digital deluxe edition, we have also confirmed that Richard Hawthorne and Alexis Purcell will be available on day one as well, bringing that roster to 12. 12 characters. Jordan, that's a lot of characters here. What are the team's hopes and goals with launching the game with this roster?
Well, there's definitely kind of two approaches. Like, obviously, when we first started the project, we realized how crucial this was as part of this type of experience. We've always seen there's been a deep connection between horror fans and just the victims of these films, and it makes sense. And there's a lot of just you know, things you can take from the charisma and personality. So it's something where we really wanted to expand all these characters and make sure that they're fully voiced and have these backstories as far as who they are, what their personalities are, what they would act like, so that we could then build off of that for what their options are for cosmetics that we'll obviously get into, as well as what they're doing in the single player, where they are, what they're up to at any given point when Michael's encountering them. So it's something that was really exciting to expand on the already kind of list of legacy characters into something where we made more of these 1978 people that live in this town of Haddonfield. So it was very exciting to craft that, as well as then go into detail of all the gameplay aspects, which there's so much more to we'll dive into over time. But we've already mentioned characters will have traits, little things that give them uniqueness over each other and what they're doing, as well as attributes that are built towards the characters themselves. There's been a lot of just kind of you can look at the gameplay if you see what's happening and see all the places and guess kind of the direction each of these characters are going to go when someone excels at repairing things, or someone excels at just talking to people and interacting. Some people might not excel at those things, so we really want to do a nice push and pull that also gave characters people could connect with and have fun with, because part of this is a very social game. It's about interacting with each other, it's about interacting with other people, and then ultimately watching these people die. And
so one thing we haven't really touched on at this stage is we have introduced you to these 10 and 12 civilian characters, but we've only shown you their default multiplayer appearances, which means we haven't really shown the community how they look in the single player story mode, which is notably different. Jordan, what do you think? Should we show off some of these alternate looks for these characters?
I think you're gonna go to do it without my approval.
You're damn right. So first up, we have Rachel Callahan in all her goth glory here. Oh yeah, I mean, I know Rachel is a fan favorite. A lot of people in the community have gravitated towards Rachel, and I get it. She is awesome. Up next, we have Marcus Navarro strutting his, ooh, look at that, his badass biker gear. He's looking good. He's got the tore up jeans. Stoked about that. And last but certainly not least, we have an iconic movie look for Annie here. Oh, look at that. Look at that shawl. Look at that shawl.
An important
shawl. So yeah, we are very excited about the customization, the alternate outfits, all the ways players can express themselves in Halloween the game. One thing I wanted to kind of touch base with the community on is kind of like our approach, considering the fact that we are in Halloween 1. Things are based on the original film. That means we're set in the 70s. What's our team's approach to respecting that period, respecting the IP, but also giving players, freedom to dress as they wish?
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of just these characters in general, is trying to find and exist in a realm of reality of this Haddonfield back in 1978, while really leaning into what makes each of their backstories unique. What kind of things are they up to on a daily basis, and kind of emulated in the same way we see the babysitters from the movie and kind of what they're up to. So we wanted to lean into that, but also we've got a lot of effort into making sure that everything aligns, in a grounded space around this time period. But there's also just expression, and we want to make sure that there's a very nice balance that moving forward, and everything that you'll see moving forward in the other outfits. This is obviously just a taste, where other characters will get similar. So it's going to be fun, and a lot of the things that we'll put will make sense for the characters to wear in the time frame and period.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked what the scope of customization is, so we did want to touch on the things that you can customize. So obviously there will be alternate outfits. You'll also be able to customize civilians' hair, their eyewear, and their makeup and blemishes as well, which is very exciting. So we got our boy Michael, the star of the show, arguably, and we did want to touch on some of the ways you can customize the appearance of Michael Myers. We have shown smaller glimpses of these skins, but we have a look at 2 cosmetics that you can earn in-game for Michael Myers. Right here we have the Sam Hain Michael, looking badass and ready for bloodshed here. And then we also have little clown Michael, all grown up. So yeah, there's going to be ways. Again, Michael has a very iconic look. That mask is legendary, but there are going to be some really cool things that you can chase down. You know, I hate to be a tease, but we do have some looks I think fans of the original film are going to be incredibly stoked about at launch. So look forward to more. Unfortunately, for some of that, we're not really going to show you. So I'm just going to tease you for now. Up next, we are going to talk a bit about meta unlocks. We do have plans to have a more in-depth overview ahead of launch, but we did want to spend some time today talking about some of the other pieces that you can unlock in this game outside of alternate outfits. And we're going to start with profile icons, profile backgrounds, titles, and player cards. So in Halloween the game, players are going to have the opportunity to unlock these items by completing various challenges and customize their own profile cards, which again is an added layer of customization within this experience. Jordan, I know our team is working very hard to provide as many rewards as possible in this experience. So outside of something like profile icons, backgrounds, what other layers are we adding to that chase and that hook for Halloween the game?
Yeah, I mean, this has always been a fun part. I've been a part of most of our meta progression kind of build outs over time. For this one, trying to keep it focused on the big things that'll kind of drive forward a lot of stuff. We have profile level. That is an overall tracker on your profile. We'll have a killer Michael Myers specific level. We'll have each civilian will have their own levels. Each of these are gained by obviously playing with those characters, and then as well as starting weapon levels for Michael. He'll be able to select a starting weapon after unlocking them with the correct killer level, of course, and then be able to level those weapons up as he's using them, which unlocks other things I'll get to in a second. We have a lot of progressive challenges for each of the different killer skins, as well as each of the different civilians. So each of those have progressive steps to challenges. So you have to complete one to complete the next, and we'll load in unlocks throughout those different things to really focus on, I'm playing this character, I'm going to unlock a lot of things in relation to that, as well as sprinkling in things like the profile cards and banners and giving you things unique to that experience. Passive challenges as well, just kind of an overall just tracker of a lot of your different things that are pretty common. We've set up different books for the different sides that kind of give you a lot of different opportunities to test and play a lot of the different features and unlock more things that you can then customize further. So that's kind of a lot of the big things for where you'll be unlocking these things. But there's also things like experience that you'll get, as well as different executions, tints, and things, and for Michael especially, and his weapons. And then also we have an in-game currency. And that kind of goes into something that I'm not going to get into too deep here, because this is kind of a part of and will be fleshed out in Miles. As he had mentioned, the kind of going over more of this metagame stuff. But civilian perks, we've definitely shown and given pretty, they've been in all the gameplay. You've seen them, we've mentioned them, and we want to make sure that we get a nice solid dive into those. But essentially at a high level, they are, you have a perk inventory on your menu that you'll be able to roll for perks and get different perks that you can then equip to decks. And those decks are what you equip to your characters going in, so that is what, when you're earning those perks in game, that's where it's drawing from. Because there's just a lot of things we wanted to make sure are not getting too competitive, and this is one of those aspects where we feel like we can take a nice casualized approach to it and make sure it remains in a fair category for the use cases. So we'll dive into those more later, but you earn currency, you use that to bolster your perk decks, kind of build those up, make them what you need them for your different situations. You equip them to your different characters and jump in to try and survive.
Concept of mysterious items in this world and in these play spaces, which will give civilians a chance to fight back Michael's seemingly overwhelming power. Jordan, do you want to talk a little bit about what these mean? And I know we are intentionally keeping a lot of this secret until launch, just as a heads up. If you want more info ahead of launch, we're not really going to give it to you. But what can we talk about today when it comes to these mysterious items?
These are something that, you know, we're not giving a lot of info on because they're, like you'd said, they're purposefully something we want people to explore and discover. They're rare, and they're things that will appear in the loot pool.
And the next question, this is a big one. This is a big one in this genre.
Yeah, the last time.
Oh yeah, you got some yapping to do, mister. All right, this comes from Death Cube K318. How do you plan to combat the threat of bully squads in this game? Bully squads, Jordan. People love them. How are we stopping them? How are we shutting them down?
You know, it's a fun one because, you know, the challenging part about building a sandbox is, like, there's not a wrong way to play it. Like, you can't tell people, especially people that are playing online, no, you can't play this way. It's all got to work. So I took this one on myself very early on as we were designing the combat systems, as we were designing the character status effect systems and ability systems. There's an emphasis on understanding the, like, solidity and the pacing, as well as the countermeasures that we need to be able to have in place to be able to give the players the opportunity to go all out and not restrict them from doing anything, but allowing Michael to rise to the occasion, quite literally in some circumstances. But the bullying thing is there's just, it's an unavoidable thing. But through our general infrastructure that we built of the game itself, the design practices we put in place around the game mode itself, implementation of NPCs, there are situations where there's a lot of NPCs that can exist. Like, you can get cops and get people to follow you. So there was always going to be the fact that there's a lot to carve through for Michael, and in some circumstances a lot in one place. So we made sure that he was given abilities that counteract that. You know, reality tear was a big part of it. It's a very easy get out of jail free type of situation, but we also have certain measures that are in place around pacing out the downing. Like, I know we have bloodthirst that kind of gives him the strength over time, but when we're talking about people that are, like, you know, in this game, they're going to be trying to detain him, we need to make sure that's a little bit more difficult than just it being a thing that you can do. It's got to have those steps of knocking him down so many times and making sure you have an authority figure, whether that cop be a cop or Loomis, and then having to play a mini game in order to get him before he gets back up. There's layers there that happen. So making sure that's difficult to access relies on a very favorable RNG of what you're finding and what you're gathering, perks that you're getting. There's moments that'll open up and be possible, but we really want to deter that early on. When you're trying it, it's a risky proposition. Michael needs to be powerful in this game, and I'm excited to see the balance come out, because death and losing to and dying is just part of the process here. Like, Michael Myers is just, he's so strong, like, and that is an important aspect of truly fearing him. So all of these pieces that I've kind of described, as well as just a more robust combat system, the different melee things that we have in place to pace out and detect connections and make sure that we're pacing out some of the stunning and crowd control elements. There's a lot of things that need to kind of dissipate when you're constantly trying to smack against them versus getting them down and then fleeing. That's the right thing to do. If you try and stick around, the idea is that you're done for.
I see some people in the chat asking about this. Yes, proximity chat will be in this game. We're very excited about its implementation. We know it's a fan favorite feature, and so that will be available.
Yep.
And now, Jordan, our final question comes from Snow S54. And they ask, will Michael Myers be able to drive cars / vehicles in Halloween the game? And for this one, we are just going to let the clip do the talking for us. Take care, everyone. Have a good afternoon, and we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye.
now it's time to review. So I've enjoyed it. I'm gonna do some editing just to let y'all know, so it don't be that long. I did say it was gonna be like 20 minutes long. It's kind of like almost like 30. But yeah, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm glad that they are doing challenges where you can unlock cosmetics. You can also have profile icons and backgrounds, which is not bad. I actually like that. So it's like, you don't like how Call of Duty and like NBA 2K is. They do that same stuff as well. So, um, I'm glad that Mike was able to drive. I mean, yes, I think we were all expecting that he was going to be able to. See, I already know when I get that game, I'm running people over. I'm gonna try. I'm probably gonna be like the shittiest Michael driver in the fucking game. Oh, it takes practice though. Um, I like that there's like a couple of maps. Was it like what, three? Three maps? Um, you can also get two new outfits for Michael. So one is Sam Hain and the other one is when he was like, I guess like as a kid, maybe dressing up as a clown, which I think is really nice. Also about Michael being bullied. That might be like one of the biggest downfalls if that does happen, because it shouldn't happen. Like he's powerful. I'm like I've seen Jason get bullied before. Same with like anybody who played like TCM. You're able to get bullied on that game too if you don't know what you're doing. Hopefully that does not happen. If it does, I can see a lot of people uninstalling that game and not playing that game. They'll probably be like, "Oh, it's not fair. Like Michael's supposed to be powerful. Like, why is he getting bullied?" I already can see that. I already can see that happening. Like, like the online players getting like talking to the NPCs, and then you have the cops involved. That's gonna be fucking insane. I also like that you're able to change hairstyles. I think outfits as well. And with the girl characters like makeup and stuff like that, that's nice. I like that they add that. Like I said, this game has the potential to be better than Friday the 13th and TCM if everything goes right. Hopefully it does. I know a lot of people are preying on its downfall because the longest reigning, I think, ASIM game out there is DVD, which we all know. It's been out for like 10 years, which is crazy. And with TCM, even though it's shut down, it's having its problems now. Like, you're not able to force stack, which kind of sucks. So yeah, if anyone has enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications, and I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. See y'all later.